Old Bloke Goes to Hipping Hall, Part 2. So, it's 7:15 and time for my first wee foodie surprise. Something I couldn't easily make myself. And oh my God, it's amazing. I start with butter pie, a delicate pastry filled with truffle custard. Then it's on to a deconstructed Brussels sprout filled with smoky paprika yoghurt, plus a square of eggy bread topped with caviar. All with Bacchus, an entirely quaffable English bubbly. Phew. And then, just as I get my breath back, I'm served a hen's egg with fermented mushroom dressing floating in its own wee personal bath of seaweed and chicken broth. It was so tempting that I forgot to take a picture. Of course, I can't stand people who take pictures of food and put them on Facebook. Unless it's me. Anyway, these are works of art and possible dishes to try and replicate in an old bloke way one day. All this, and it's still only 7:32. Then it's spelt bread, made from the beer-making process, with homemade whipped butter. For me, the bread and butter in any restaurant is like a barometer for the place. It should be that good that you think, oh, if I just had that and nothing else, I'd leave happy. Can I buy the bread? I inquire. Not really, but I'll see what I can do, says the waiter, sliding another glass of wine towards me. This time, it's a South African Chenin Blanc, or Blanc, I suppose, called Peacock. Then, it was the Lancashire Rose, a beetroot, served up like one of those Chinese decorations, you know the ones you get on the edge of plates, but transformed into a silky parcel of elegance melted in the mouth. Jeez, beautiful. But everything is still a wee bit too fast on the delivery side. I mean, it's only 7:41. Then it was the Heritage Spuds, with baked grains graced with a hay and hazelnut cream. Soft, crunchy, tasty, experimental. 10 out of 10. 7:47. Sometimes I find the descriptions a bit too rushed, so I ask again just to be sure. The whole meal is going like clockwork, but I'd prefer a wee bit more mañana. I am, of course, a big hypocrite here because there's nothing I hate more than waiting for ages on my food. Balance may be the answer. Even ask me, how's the pace, sir? Wine-wise, we are now on to a Macon Fusée, a white wine, Chardonnay and a wee bit oaky. Other couples I notice are asking for explanations again too. It's no biggie, but, it's probably just not only me, Anyway, where was I? Then it's on to the wild mushrooms with chestnut veloute tart and wild garlic. Estupendo, as they say in Spain. I suddenly think of my kids, half of whom have gluten or lactose intolerance or both. Why? It was never a thing in the 70s, the 80s, when I was their age, and they miss out on so much of this kind of stuff. Oh, here comes the cod, with a toasted Jerusalem artichoke and truffle shavings. It melts in the mouth and is soon gone. How was your course, sir? Oh, well, I just about managed to force it down, I reply, trying to keep a straight face, which is quite hard, especially after my third glass of Blanc in 45 minutes. He laughs and says, oh, that's a compliment, isn't it? And he's right. It was. It is. Then we have more wine on the go. This time it's some Primavito, a red from Italy. After his description, he looks me straight in the face and says something, but I only pick out the word alcoholic. Charming. I used to be called Paul here, but now it's Sir. Ah well, probably my fault. I should have been back here long ago, long before now. Anyway, now we have beef three ways. Roasted ox tongue glazed in yeast and malt, beef fillet with bone marrow and black garlic. Oh, and the third way is beef cheek with kale and garlic. Now, this might look small, portion-wise, especially when you see the pics that I'll post on my website. But I'll tell you this, it was, after all the courses so far, just enough and tasty on all fronts. It's now 8:35 and I've just been presented with another 4 forks and 6 spoons. Help! And another big glass of plonk. This time it's a Duracon sweet wine or dessert wine. This is to accompany, I guess, the puddings. The first of which is Forest Ice Cream, Candied Seps and Damson Granita. Amazing, as one wee guy in the telly says now. Taste-wise, I'd say this was a blend of autumn and Christmas in a plate. Good timing. Oh, and the background music. No one ever mentions the background music. I have to use that wee app called Shazam, and it's soon revealed that it's a guy called Chet Faker, and the track is called Gold. Pretty nice, not too intrusive, but still kind of Americana wash. I hate it when you're fighting against a thump when you're trying to eat, you know. Oh, balance, taste, low volume and ethereal tones are best. And Hipping Hall has nailed it. So, it's 8:54 and I have another delight coming towards me. This time it's pineapple honeycomb with apple skin crackling, accompanied by a honey and spruce parfait. What? Christmas tree pudding? Apparently so. And it was fantastic. Look, I know I've kind of just listed the menu here, but it's all too good to gloss over with some trivial factoids about the decor in the place or the history of the hall. So it's onward and upward to the woodruff and cream course, which came with a slice of carrot cake sponge. Wood what, I hear you say? Woodruff. Its Latin name is Gallium odoratum. It's kind of related to the henna plant, and it tastes a wee bit like straw, which sounds weird, but it's actually quite comforting. Oh, and it's excellent for gallbladder stuff and urinary problems, which is great because after all that wine, I'm bursting. Oh, yes, my goodness, the last course was served at 9:15 on the dot. They took exactly 2 hours. This must all been planned. All I can say is that I loved every course and I'm not stuffed. Totally satisfied, but not stuffed. And there's a difference there, you know. I've just noticed that I seem to be very good at drinking wine, but pretty rubbish at drinking the water I asked for as backup. I must do better on that front next time. And yes, the waiter gets top marks. After paying the bill, I am gifted with a free loaf of that wonderful bread to take away back to the other place. The meal wasn't cheap now, roughly the same price as a return flight to Amsterdam, but I'd say it was still value for money. The meal and the return trip both take about 2 hours of your life, but I know which one I'd pick if pushed, or should that be pished? Anyway, sometimes it's good to take your mouth on a 5-star adventure, and this was certainly that. If you liked the sound of some of those dishes, get more details and pics from my website. All the W's, paulmurdoch.co.uk. Once you're there, find the Old Bloke Goes Running tab and then click on the podcast extras tab that's beside it and you'll get all sorts of pictures and weird stuff on there to back up the podcasts. Again, remember, the book Old Bloke Goes Running is out online in bookshops and at your library, if they've ordered it, that is. And all I can say now is if Emily is listening, and I kind of hope somebody is, well, see you next time, and ciao for now.